Boxing fans, what is good? It's Sunday morning, almost Sunday afternoon, and Cotto Martinez is come and gone, man, and history was made. Miguel Cotto becomes the first Puerto Rican in boxing history to win 4 division world titles. But I think the display that Cotto put on last night was something that I think even somebody, for me, who picked Cotto to win, I didn't expect him to come out like that. I mean, Cotto looked like a demon out of hell from the very beginning coming into this fight, man. And Martinez, look, I said going into this fight, I didn't think he was going to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the surgeries he's had, the amount of training he had prior to this fight, it just, to me, it spelt doom for Sergio Martinez. And many people that were predicting this fight were going on the notion that the big middleweight should just beat the smaller junior middleweight. Well, look, guys, I made the example of Iran Barkley and Roberto Duran. You know what I'm saying? Like, things. This isn't something new per se. I just think the domination that Cotto put on Martinez was something for everybody. Whether you pick Cotto or Martinez, was something that I don't think any of us saw happening, and I think it just added on to the night. You know, from the onset, Cotto comes in, establishing that left hook, clips Martinez. I mean, almost seconds into the fight. I would say probably like maybe 20, 30 seconds into the fight, hits him with the left hook, and he's already on wobbly legs. Now look, him getting hurt from that shot had nothing to do with his knee, his hand, or his shoulder. Cotto can hit, man, and apparently whatever Freddie Roach is doing, maybe fine-tuning the little things that Cotto kind of left. Look, man, he hurt a middleweight, and for these people who are saying, "Oh, Martinez is a middleweight," don't go and say like, "Oh, well, he's really a junior middleweight." You know, you gotta play one card. You know, Cotto went up, the weight wasn't an issue. They both met 159. Martinez came in 158 and a quarter. And Cotto came in, 4 pounds lighter, the weigh-in and the night of the fight. Or I think Martinez weighed like 166 and Cotto weighed 161. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Skills is what paid the bills in this fight. Cotto's power, at least for Sergio Martinez, I'm not going to say that Cotto should stay at middleweight. He's still a small guy. I think he should go back to 154. But, you know, I think this further proves, man, that, you know, you can't sleep on certain fighters, man, and I think that was one of the big things going into this fight. You know, obviously Cotto had lost to Floyd Mayweather and Austin Trout prior. He gets with Freddie Roach and demolishes Delvin Rodriguez, but there were still question marks. But I think this further cements that the partnering of Freddie Roach and Miguel Cotto is almost in a sense a marriage made in heaven, and maybe a match that should have happened much prior in Cotto's career. But I mean, that's neither here or there. I mean, we're in the now, and and to speak about the fight, there was nothing Martinez from the onset could do. You know, obviously his knee is shot, and he couldn't get off, and he couldn't establish anything. And I think one of the main reasons why is because he was facing the best boxer he had ever faced in his career. I mean, you look at his entire career and you look at the guys he's faced, and it was something that I thought about. But again, you add in the weight factor, and it's like, okay, well, Cotto is that good, but can he fight a guy that's just bigger than him? Again, skills pays the bills, and Miguel Cotto proved that the weight wasn't a problem. Him coming in light actually benefited him in the speed department. He had very good movement and was busy, man, and was landing to the body consistently throughout the whole night until Martinez or his camp. I'm not sure who stopped the fight. I mean, I gotta think it was Martinez. I mean, ultimately it's his decision, but he could not get out after that 10th round. You know what I mean? And this cements Cotto's legacy without a question, man. I mean, even at this point, man, you got to put him on the pound for pound list. I mean, whatever list that you have. And now the floodgates are open for him. And it's crazy because if you look at the landscape of 154 and maybe 160, I mean, I'll still leave that open, but I mean, Cotto really can fight anybody he wants, but as far as I'm concerned, in the list of fights that are there for him, number one is got to be Canelo Alvarez if he gets past Erislandy Lara, which I'll talk about in the next video or so. But that's not going to be an easy fight for Canelo. But if Canelo is to beat Lara, oh my God! Like what an event you have for the fall. Cotto versus Canelo, which would be crazy pay-per-view buys. You know what I mean? Like it'd be a big event. And then if that doesn't happen, and then you still got Floyd Mayweather, who really is looking for opponents. And considering this whole situation that he's not going to be working with Golden Boy, and now this whole Heyman boxing situation coming in. We don't know who the hell he's going to fight. There's Danny Garcia is being mentioned, and like they're already kind of throwing out the notion of a Maidana rematch. So what if Mayweather decides, hey, you know what, let me try to go for a 160 strap. You know, and they fight at like a 157 catch weight or what have you. You know, that's another option. And then the third option, I think, from viewpoint, is Gennady Golovkin. Now, is that a fight that Cotto is probably going to entertain or is going to want to entertain? I don't think so right away, because Gennady's not a big money name, and he's just a dangerous fucking guy to get in there with. So I'm thinking Canelo is the number one slot right now, and you know, Lara versus Canelo is going to be a hell of an interesting fight, and I think it's going to be an important fight as to where Cotto goes on from here. So again, man, I don't want to make this too long of a video, but Miguel Cotto makes history, stops Sergio Martinez in the 10th round, does not come out to fight in the 10th round, and quite arguably, Cotto put on one of the best performances, if maybe some are arguing maybe his best performance of his career against the opposition that he was put on against, and I guess the doubts that people had going into the fight against him. You know, I think it just really stamped, you know, who Miguel Cotto is and how he's going to be seen in the years to come, man. I mean, I think no doubt, I thought he was going to the Hall of Fame already, but this is going to definitely, like, maybe put him first ballot after he retires. So let me know what you thought of the fight, and I'm going to be shortly talking about Canelo versus Lara, because, I mean, that's going to be coming up next month, and, you know, I can't wait. But again, congratulations to Miguel Cotto, the new lineal middleweight champion of the world, and the first Puerto Rican in boxing history to win 4 division world titles. So as I always say, subscribe, hit the links, and I'll be back with you soon. Peace.